independent thoughts, independent life. This is Chad Benson.
Further, we are seeing some small clusters and larger outbreaks of COVID-19 in locations such as camps and community events where proper, hard-learned prevention strategies are not enforced and the virus is readily able to thrive.
Oh, no. You're not talking about the Delta variant, are you? You're not talking about the fact that there may be a variant called Delta?
We are starting to see some new and concerning trends. Simply put, in areas of low vaccination coverage, cases and hospitalizations are up. Meanwhile, the Delta variant is spreading rapidly throughout the country. This week, the Delta variant is estimated to be the most prevalent variant in the United States, representing over 50% of sequenced samples across the country, up from 26% from the week ending June 19. Although we expected the Delta variant to become the dominant strain in the United States, this rapid rise is troubling. We know that the Delta variant has increased transmissibility, and it is currently surging in pockets of the country with low vaccination rates.
I hope we make it. Get a shot, don't get a shot. I'm kind of over it. Who? Raise your hand. Everybody raise your hand. All right, fantastic. Here's what's happening. Pfizer, you need to get a booster. Says who? Says Pfizer. They've been checking, and they're looking based on their science of their bank account. They're like, this stuff's working too good. We got to start telling people. Hey, Jim, give him the vaccine light. Yeah, we want it to wane, just kind of fall off. Can you put shadow banning? Let the stuff actually be there so nobody dies, but let the test show that it's not there. Smart, man. Smart. What are we going to... We can't over-vaccinate. Don't worry about over-vaccinating. Just don't worry about that. We're just going to give them a placebo. Like a sugar shot. Oh, that's good. That's good. That's good. So Delta on the rise. You got the Lambda coming up behind. Panic. No. Certain areas... they would call them, these certain areas where you're going to have clusters. Okay, those are areas of people who've not been vaccinated for whatever reason. You will see a rise in those areas. But outside of that, live your life. I think it's the best way to describe that. Here's something not touched on by the media at all yesterday. New research out of Britain says that the coronavirus for children, as far as children catching the coronavirus, actually, it's not as bad as we know it wasn't bad. Well, it's better than that. It's not deadly really at all. Really? Yeah. 500,000 children they looked at that had the coronavirus. So almost it's like 469,000. 3 separate studies. 61 children died. They're like, looking at it, it's only like 25. Which is still awful. Like, nobody likes that, right? But it means that this thing isn't even as dangerous as they thought for kids, which already wasn't dangerous. Oh, man. No way. Yep. That's where we are. Delta on the rise. Lambda coming up. Mega Moose right behind that. You guys remember the Mega Moose from Revenge of the Nerds? They were the bigger girls. That's what we're saying. They were not a handsome set of ladies, but, there's somebody for everybody. So that's the next thing. All in all, it's good. We're in a much better place than everywhere else. It's time to have a smile on our face and move on. What did I say when we left this? Because you're starting to see states in certain areas and cities start to maybe potentially reimpose federal sites, some state sites. You know what's going to happen? Nothing. The genie's out of the bottle. Time to live our life. Don't be afraid. If you're not vaccinated, you made a choice. That's fine. I got no problem with that. If you get sick, you're probably going to survive. If you pass away, sucks. I need all listeners I can get. So go get the vaccine. That should be our promo. Go get vaccinated. Chad needs all the listeners he can get. 323-538-2423. At Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. Tweet at us. Text the program. Guess who's going to space? Now, I wanted it to be Phil, because Phil's love of space. I was sitting there talking.
Phil wanted it to be Phil.
Phil did want it to be Phil. Phil, this is what we were talking about you yesterday on the air, because we were talking about Branson, because we were asking the question. Did you see his flight crew, Phil?
No, not at all.
Okay. You just go look at the people that are flying with him. So, and then I'm like, well, those ladies are beautiful. He was like, wait. Well, what if we get out of control? We spin into space. We have to repopulate. We don't need fat chicks on this thing. Yeah, it's not very nice. You never see a fat astronaut. Man or woman, really. Man or woman. But I said your dream would be to fly into space, but it's not on a spaceship. It's on a train. It's a train ship. He's going to space, kinda. So he's kind of going to space. But here's something he said that I found interesting.
I know that it's been painted as a race. Honestly, I don't think either of us see it that way. We're not really in direct competition.
Because you're not going to space, Richard. I am going to space, Chad. You're going to be looking up, and it'll be dark above, and below it will be the Earth, and we'll see all of the Earth in all of its glory. No, he's going to space. You're going to what I would like to call kind of space. But that's going to be neat. Now, here's my question. 3 of them are doing this at some point in time. So you got Elon Musk. You got Bezos, obviously, who's going, I think, in the next couple of weeks. And then you've got Sunday, it's going to be Branson. Right? And I'm surprised Elon's not strapping himself in right now, just trying to beat everybody there in some sort of special Tesla. Chances one of them doesn't quite make it back. I'm just saying, I don't want to be a Richard. It's a possibility. But it is awesome what he's doing. Think about the fact that, let's just go back 100 years. Let's talk about who we are as human beings. 100 years ago, there was no thought of going to space. Like, if we could fly over a mountain, we'd be like, wow, that's pretty awesome. I mean, during World War II, World War I, the planes were basically wood. They were wooden planes with a little bit of metal, a machine gun that was like a Gatling gun, and if you wanted to drop a bomb, you literally dropped the bomb. You picked it up, you're like, here we go. I only got 4 of these. So it's like when you get fireworks, you're like, all right, we only got 3 of these. So hopefully they don't suck. And you just drop it. That was kind of it, right? That was it. Then you move forward, and you had World War II. Rockets were just starting. You had the V1 with, the Germans, it was, you had all the vengeance weapons. Oh, the Germans, this is a vengeance. We're going to blow up all of England. And we raced, and after World War II, we got all the scientists, because that's what it was a race for at the end. Let's get all their stuff, and we'll bring all the Germans over here, and we built NASA. Snapshot. Lo and behold, we got to the moon. 6 now. We're at the moon. Wow, this is great. And then it was like we didn't do anything. Now, human beings are going to space on their own dime. Partnership in some ways, but a lot of it's their own. We're getting closer and closer. So if you think about this, and I got my little one, and I got Jack and everything, and I'm thinking, what is he going to see in his lifetime? Because I'm 50, pretty decent shape, although I did eat 2 donuts today, so I'm sorry. But it was so good, though. I don't smoke, I don't drink. My goal is to watch them grow up and stuff like that. And I'd like to think there's going to be a lot of cool stuff. I joke about, like, the chip in the brain and the conscience and, all the stuff that they're talking about where we're going to go. Maybe taking your brain and putting it in a new body and all that stuff. But they're going to see a lot of stuff. And one of the things is, I think my kids are going to eventually have a chance to go to space in a way that for us, maybe the tail end, but for them, maybe something that is doable. Like, all the time. Like, what do you do this weekend? Oh, we're shooting off to Mars. Well, not Mars, but we're shooting off to the moon. Yeah, no way. Yeah.
I want a whole new generation of kids to be able to look forwards and look up to the stars and up to the skies and realize that they too could become astronauts one day.
Yeah, but they're going to be pastronauts, which is just passenger astronauts. At some point in time, it's going to happen in a way that's so awesome. And that's why I look up and I always say, we live in the greatest time in history. Yeah, the coronavirus sucked. And the last 18 months is, I think we'll look back in 100 years and go, oh, there's so much better ways we can handle that. This thing wasn't what we thought it was, and comorbidities and all the stuff, but we'll have pills for all those things because that's what we're aiming to. You know, our goal in life, right? Let's be real. What is our goal in life? Our goal in life is to have a good life, but to live as long as we can, healthy. But to live unhealthy. Like, that's the goal in life, is to be as unhealthy as we want and to figure out a way to take a pill to make everything better. We'll probably get there at some point. We'll probably get there. And we're going to be able to see stuff that's just amazing. And you think about how far we've come in the last 100 years. And you look back at this crap that took place with the coronavirus in the last year, and the fighting and the infighting. We're going to be shooting people off into space as a test run for actual passenger runs to the outer limits of our atmosphere right before you get to space stuff. That's pretty awesome. Think about 15 years from now. I'll still only be 65. And how far will we move forward? 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Shows your Twitter. Tweet at us, text the program. Love hearing from every single one of you. So much stuff to get to. I just can't be a Debbie Downer. I just can't be. I love this kind of stuff. I love to see what human beings can do. I love to see how far we can push ourselves, because we are still, as a species, in the very infancy of what we can do. And this is neat. It really is. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. And I know what somebody's going to say. Chad, I can't believe you made a joke about nutritionally overachieving women going to space. You don't see a lot of fat astronauts. You just don't. Wouldn't it be great just sending him up there? Like, Iron Man would not be cool if he was plump. Our suit doesn't fit. Just gets off the ground by about 8 feet. It's not very nice, Chad. I'm saying it for me, too. I would look good in that suit. I'd look awful. Do you have anything else that's a little stretchy? Do you have anything maybe with a drawstring? Raycon, best earbuds around. You'll absolutely love. Last night it was nice. I put my Raycons in. We were hanging out at the hotel. I was relaxing. I had to put my Raycons in because it was loud. Let's just say that. And it was nice because I fell asleep in them in, just relaxing, listening to an audiobook. And you've got no stems or wires. You got 6 hours of talk time. I still have plenty of time left on my earbuds. And guess what? I charged my case. My case now is the charger. I just put my earbuds in there and away I go. I've got red ones. I've got blue ones. I've got white ones. You guys, they've got several different colors. Waterproof, 45-day happiness guarantee. And the sound quality, because of the fit, is second to none. I saw another company that has, quote unquote, the several different fit sizes that come with their thing. They were almost $300. You're going to pay well under $90, well under $80, well under $70 to get these. The best premium earbuds around at a price that's right. They're called Raycons, 45-day happiness guarantee, 1-year warranty. Get your Raycons now. BuyRaycon.com/Chad. 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 Chad Benson Show.
Welcome to Chad. No, not the country. The institution. The Chad Benson Show.
The word was presented before 14-year-old Zaila Avant-Garde in the 18th round of the Scripps National Spelling Bee Tournament on ESPN.
The word is Maria. It's a genus of tropical Asiatic and Australian trees.
The 8th grader from New Orleans stepped up.
Murraya.
That is correct.
Listen how excited she is. That's correct. Oh, my God, it's correct. That's right, Spelling Bee, Scripps Spelling Bee. She's a winner. Maria. I like how she goes, okay, wait, hold on here. Maria?
The word is Maria.
And this was her comeback. She just wants to make sure.
It's a genus of tropical Asiatic and Australian trees having pinnate leaves and flowers with imbricated petals.
So if I had to read that, I'd be like, it's a tree. What kind of tree? It's a tree from Australia. Asiatic. It's got petals on it. Like a bike pedal? That's a weird tree.
Maria.
Maria.
But somebody has trained her well.
Does this word contain like the English name Murray, which could be the name of a comedian?
Boom. She gets it. She gets it. Bill Murray. No, it does not. Bill Murray wouldn't be caught dead at these. He's cool. Bunch of pharmacists and IT people. Chad. She won. Yeah, I'm telling you guys, it would make it great if they would celebrate like soccer. They just slide on their knees in front of the other contestants and get in their faces. And I think they should do 1v1 at the end where they almost have a weigh-in and they stare each other down. Like boxing. What's up? Beat your ass. They don't do that. They're all very nice and cordial. I'm just trying to lighten. It's Scripps. I'm trying to lighten it up. I want the kids to have fun. I think it should be more combat. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show's your Twitter. She's the first winner from Louisiana. No way. We got somebody done learn how to spell? You do. I'll be dongle. Well, I was trying to explain. We had a guy. Remember him? The guy, the Avenatti, that guy that used to do commercials. They're from the same area. Think about that for a second. Avenatti. The first winner. I don't know what she gets. I think she gets a scholarship, cash, probably some encyclopedias, which she probably's already memorized. She's smart. You look at her and you're like, those are tomorrow's leaders. When you look at like where like those people right there, those people, those kids, like those are the tomorrow's leaders. They're great spellers. That's the way we're going to do world wars from now on. We have a spelling bee. Chad Benson Show.
The Chad Benson Show.
Independent thoughts, independent life. This is Chad Benson.
I do think it's time to start mandating vaccines. And I think that private industry and private organizations will do that. At GW University, where I work, starting this fall, you can't be on campus unless you're fully vaccinated. Look, I think in the part of the pandemic now where the problem is that 150 million Americans are not vaccinated. Half of that number is less than 18 years of age. But let's look at the adults. 75 million adults have chosen not to get vaccinated. And that choice has consequences.
No, Jonathan Reiner. No. And a double blank no, you clown. Sorry. But we as human beings are allowed to have choice. We as human beings here in this country are allowed to have choice. And yes, through the medical emergencies, there are things that kind of override some of this stuff. But we're not in a situation where this is the pandemic it once was. We know so much more about it, and we've got vaccines. And yeah, he broke it out. 75 million adults have chosen not to get it. Okay, that's fine. But aren't you worried? No, I'm not worried. I'm not. And the reason I'm not worried is because A, I'm vaccinated, and B, I've already had it. So I'm getting on with my life. Other people are allowed to make the choices for themselves for whatever reason, whether they have a genuine fear of thought that this thing really went too fast for them. It makes them uncomfortable. They like to give it a little bit more time before they do it. That's totally fine. That's a genuine belief. And if they think that it's going to turn them into a plant, then let it be. That's their choice, right? That's their choice. Well, you're not going to be allowed to come on this campus. Then you know what? People have made that choice. They'll go somewhere else that will allow them that. But choice is important. That's what I'm talking about, Chad. Same thing with women. They should have choice. Okay, I've never said that women shouldn't have choice. Again, it's your choice as a human being. For me, I follow God, and God says, hey, we give you guys free will. You make those choices. Those are your things. You have to live with those. So we get on with our lives. I look at this, and I hear something like that, and I'm thinking to myself, this is not going to end well. This is not going to end well. And the knock-knock thing, hello there, we're coming in. I'd like to give you a shot. That's not going to end well either.
Now we need to go to community by community, neighborhood by neighborhood, and oftentimes door to door, literally knocking on doors.
Hi.
Yeah?
I was wondering if you had a couple moments to talk about our Lord and Savior, Joe Biden. Well, we're going from house to house to see if you had your vaccines yet. There's a pandemic going on.
Well, then what are you doing here? You should be in your house, quarantining or something.
Well, it's for your safety, sir.
You know who else went around knocking on doors as well?
Targeted community by community door-to-door outreach to get remaining Americans vaccinated.
Sir, I'm not a Nazi.
You kind of are, man.
No, not a Nazi. That's that stuff. Yeah, Marjorie Taylor Greene. This is like their brown shirts. Look, not Nazi, and I understand. The thought is they feel they're doing something. It's about control. No, people generally feel they're doing something good. But it's falling on deaf ears. Communities of color, they're not buying it, right? Communities of colors aren't buying it. And the other communities out there that aren't getting it, they're not buying it from the government. You've had your opportunity. If you don't know, like I love when I hear them come out and talk about, well, some of these people aren't aware. They're aware. Everybody, if you don't know you can get a vaccine and you don't know how to get a vaccine and a pandemic probably aren't the biggest issue in your life. I'm just going to say that right now. Like, here's where I'll give you a pass. You woke up from a coma. You had no idea what was going on. And you were in a room by yourself. You had no idea. It's like the movie 28 Days Later, right? You're Cillian Murphy. You woke up, you're like, what the hell happened? Okay, you can get a pass on that. It's a long coma, though. You were in a spaceship, right? And it landed here. And you're like, dudes, thank you guys. That was awesome. And you're like, where were you, Jim, for the last 18 months? He's, you guys aren't going to believe that space. The aliens came down. They're like, dude, do you want to go on a party? And the aliens were awesome. There were some hot aliens, and it was amazing. We went to space. And what's going on here? What did I miss? And they're like, oh, you didn't hear? The Chinese totally screwed everything up, and they had this bat virus, and it got out, and it just infected the world, and it screwed everything up. Oh, did everybody hold them accountable? No, we blamed it on Trump. Oh, my God. Then I'll give you a pass. Like, those are your two choices. If you're none of those people, you've made a choice not to get it for whatever reason. So we're moving on with our lives. There you go. Mandating it, you clown. 323-538-2423. At Chad Benson Show's your Twitter. Tweet at us. I don't know if you guys heard yesterday, the guy that was the Trump slayer, Michael Avenatti.
This lawyer's star rose while repping Stormy Daniels, but fell after he was accused of trying to extort millions from Nike in 2019. His name, quickly forgotten, obviously, Michael Avenatti.
I see you all over cable news. I see you, there is a seat available if you want to be a co-host at The View. Lately, to me, you're like the Holy Spirit.
Joining us once again is Michael Avenatti.
Let's bring in Michael Avenatti.
Michael Avenatti.
Michael Avenatti.
Michael Avenatti, thank you very much.
You are something of a folk hero now.
Enough already, Michael. I've seen you everywhere. What do you have left to say?
The field of Democrats right now, and Avenatti's the one who stands out.
Yeah, he does, because he's going to jail for 2.5 years. The love, right? Like, because why? He was going to be the Trump slayer. He was bringing Trump down. He was going to slay Trump. Here's the Trump slayer. No one could stop him. He has the elixir. You know who slayed Trump? Trump did. Right? That's who did. He was not the Trump slayer. So he tried to extort tons of money from Nike. They called BS. He's going to jail for 2.5 years. And I thought last night, Bill Cosby's out of jail. Michael Avenatti's going to jail. Oh, I posted something on Twitter yesterday about it. It says Michael Avenatti's 2020, campaign strategy, and it was Brian Stelter and him side by side, and somebody's like, that did not age well. It did not age well. He is not going to be president. Just throwing it out there in case you didn't know. But they loved him, right? It's a different world with Biden. The people who hated Trump, they got all kinds of love, right? Like you've seen, the pundits that were on all the time for the last 2.5, 3 years on the CNNs and MSNBCs, they've dissipated, right? They've just kind of it's almost like Thanos went, it was Trumpos, and dissipated. Because they're of no use to you now. You're of no use to me. You can leave now. We have slayed the dragon. Be on with yourself. On the other side of stuff, the media, my goodness me.
Is it Thursday? I said happy Thursday. Well, I was going to say, I did hear it was Steve Holland's 29th birthday. So happy 29th birthday. I am a terrible singer, but I am willing to lead a song here if you are all game. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Steve. Happy birthday. Brian Karam, excellent voice. I don't know what you do with that, but that's one thing I learned today. Okay.
Wow, let's juxtapose that to, I don't know, Trump and how he was treated at times and still gets treated. And by the way, many of those people, including one by the name of Jim Acosta, who? Exactly.
If I may ask one other question, Mr. President, if I may ask one other question, are you worried?
That's enough. That's enough.
Mr. President,
that's enough.
On the Russia investigation, are you concerned?
That's enough. Put down the mic.
Mr. President, are you worried about indictments coming down in this investigation?
CNN should be ashamed of itself having you working for them. You are a rude.
Sir, why are you saying that to me specifically?
I'm not saying it specifically to anybody. I'm saying it to anybody that would ask a nasty question like that.
That's not a nasty question.
Please go ahead. Next.
In Jim's defense, I've traveled with him and watched him. He's a diligent reporter who busts.
Well, I'm not
like
a big fan of yours either, so
I understand.
To be honest.
It's just different, right? Listen, you heard Trump give as good as he got, but the fawning over some of this stuff, and you go back to Kelly McEnany and Sarah Sarah Huckabee Sanders, and you watch that, and it's a joke. It is, and that's not the way. You're not supposed to be in love with the people that you're supposed to keep an eye on and monitor and report on. You're not. You're not supposed to be in hate either. You're supposed to be honest. Doesn't mean you can't like them as a human being, but you should be honest in your reporting. And when you listen to that, it's and you wonder why people out there have suspicion of the establishment media. Even people, I've got friends on the left who are like, I don't trust those people. They're not giving you the skinny. And by the way, both sides will fawn. Fox is going to give you a free ride if you're on the right most of the time. People ask me, who do I watch? If I have to watch any cable news, you know what I watch? CNBC. Yeah. Watch that. Because they do a somewhat decent job, or I'll watch Kennedy because she's fun. And I think she's as about straightforward as you're going to get. But so much of it's crap. And listening to some, let's sing happy birthday to the reporters. If Sarah Huckabee Sanders did that, they'd all stay quiet and say, oh, man, she's an idiot. And when you can control the media in such a way, and that's a lot of what this is, but the thing is, they're not controlling the media. The media is allowing them and giving up a good portion of that control to them. becoming an arm for them in situations. It's not right. You know, out here, I do a local show. When I first started on there, we had a lot of politicians. I never have politicians. You guys listen to me. Very rarely do I do interviews, and very rarely, if ever, do I have politicians. And the reason's pretty simple. A, I find them boring. And B, here at a local level, I see what happens. Everybody becomes friends with these people. Well, it's hard to criticize them then. It's hard to ask hard questions to somebody you know. And it's funny, when I first started, we had the governor, we had all these people who come on the show. We have none of them now. And I wear that with pride. And we have another guy that works at our station who is very much on the right side of everything. And they all go on his show now because they know what they're going to get. It's a safe space. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. Tweet at us, text the program. And the funny thing is, he is a great guy. And when it came to like the audit, he's been on CNN. He's wrote a couple op-ed pieces for the Washington Post and a few other things. And he's been attacked by the Trump MAGA people in crazy ways because he was honest in assessing stuff. And that's what happens when you become friends, because he's like, feels now that, oh, I betrayed people. No, don't let them be your friends. Don't fall in love with them. Fall in like at best, but make it one of those things where I like you just enough to keep you around, but I don't want to marry you. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show's your Twitter. Rough Greens makes any pet food better. I give my dog Rough Greens because I do love them and I do want to keep them around. Boom! Vitamins, minerals. Oh, yeah. Vegetables. Oh. Digestive enzymes. Probiotics. Omega 369. All these amazing things in the supplement, K9 VitaSmart. You sprinkle it on top of your dog's food. Brings your dog's food to life. And it does. And it's helped my dog Doodle with his hips. And I love the fact that he eats it up. He does. He eats it up. And we fill their bowl up and we sprinkle it in there and we let them come and go as they please when they eat. And the funny thing is they'll see my big iguana Winston, and you guys know, you guys listen to the show. He wanders through because he doesn't live in a cage because he's big enough to wander in and out. He's got his own doggy door. He will go and he'll eat some of the food. And I thought, it's got all the great nutrients in there. It's good enough for him. It's good enough for anything. That's how much I love my animals. Try it before you buy it. Try it before you buy it. You pay for the shipping. They're going to send you a bag for free. RUFFgreens.com/Chad, roughgreens.com/Chad, or call 833-MyDog77, 833-MyDog77. Rough Greens makes any pet food better. Chad Benson Show.
Don't let the Washington Beltway strangle you. This is where the exhausted majority comes to refuel, realign, and reevaluate. This is Chad Benson.
We have to go back to where it all started.
Black Widows, the first standalone movie for Scarlett Johansson's Natasha Romanoff character, after years of appearing in Avengers and other movies. And she tells us this one really gets into her backstory from the first frame.
You understand immediately how high the stakes are within the first 15 minutes of the film. And while they're difficult to get through, I think you immediately also have a deeper understanding of Natasha right away.
Black Widow is in theaters and streaming on Disney Plus for $30.
Yeah, no. Stephen Dorff, who's done a lot of movies. He's kind of like the poor man's version of James Dean. I think he starred in Blade, but a bunch of other movies, and kind of does art house movies. He's like, I'd be embarrassed if I was her. He's probably got $8 or $10 million, but still, I don't know if it's going to be any good. I'm going to be completely honest with you. It may be good. It may not be good. Is it entertaining? At the end of the day, again, it's about entertaining. Do I think it will be good? Probably. Look, if you want to go as far as going and watching a movie that has a lot of effects and stuff, like me, that kind of movie I like. I've just never found her character. Like, if I'm more interested in, like, the backstory's neat, but, like, her dad and stuff like that. But I don't know if it's going to be any good. I don't. I think these things, the problem with this, it's the reason I think why, like, Wolverine worked when it got a little harder, or Deadpool, is because there's comedy, but there's also edge. And I don't know if any of these characters, like, Iron Man worked, Thor kind of works, but you got to surround with other pieces of that. Are we going to see some Avenger people in there? Is that kind of played out? Maybe. But I'm sure it'll do very well. But how well will it do? Will it be able to defeat F9? F9. Those movies. I have seen like 2 or 3 of those movies. But I just still love how they started out as kind of like daredevils and street racers. Now they're super spies. That is pretty awesome. That is really kind of neat when you think about it. Chad Benson Show.
This is the Chad Benson Show. Independent thoughts, independent life. This is Chad Benson.
We are starting to see some new and concerning trends. Simply put, in areas of low vaccination coverage, cases and hospitalizations are up. Meanwhile, the Delta variant is spreading rapidly throughout the country. This week, the Delta variant is estimated to be the most prevalent variant in the United States, representing over 50% of sequenced samples across the country, up from 26% from the week ending June 19. Although we expected the Delta variant to become the dominant strain in the United States, this rapid rise is troubling. We know that the Delta variant has increased transmissibility, and it is currently surging in pockets of the country with low vaccination rates.
Delta variant. Delta variant. Watch out for it. If you see it coming, move the other way. Maybe we should treat it like animals. All right, guys. You guys are going to be out here. Just to let you know, bears, especially mother bears with their cubs, they will defend. So if you see cubs, go the other direction. And if you see the Delta variant, we also advise you to go the other direction. And when you do it, hold your breath. Oh, that makes sense. Oh, my Lord. So there you go. There you go. It is the Delta variant. It's out there. People, this doctor, Jonathan Reiner, he's a doctor. He wants everybody to get vaccinated. It should be mandatory.
I do think it's time to start mandating vaccines. And I think that private industry and private organizations will do that. At GW University, where I work, starting this fall, you can't be on campus unless you're fully vaccinated. Look, I think in the part of the pandemic now where the problem is that 150 million Americans are not vaccinated. Half of that number is less than 18 years of age. But let's look at the adults. 75 million adults have chosen not to get vaccinated. And that choice has consequences.
Yeah. So at GW, they're doing that. I wonder if they did it at Barbizon. You remember Barbizon? Do you want to be a model? Sure. Maybe you just want to look like one. You guys can do that there? No. I'm sorry, Dr. Reiner. That's a hard no. Here's the beauty of our country, the liberty. We just celebrated it, right? We just celebrated our nation, right? Our liberty. And we said, all right, guys, we're getting together. Now, we want a king? And it was like, maybe we should have a king. Well, maybe we should have a president. Hey, George, do you want to be king? He says, no, I don't want to be king. I want to be king at all. Right? I just want to do this for a little bit and then bounce. All right, cool. All right, cool. So he don't want to be king. We're going to have a president. We're going to put together this thing. It's going to have everything in it. It's our Constitution. We got our Bill of Rights. We got the whole 9 yards. Like, this is it. It's going to be This is what we do. And one of the big things I thought, liberty! And the liberty is we want to be able to have choice and let people have choice. But, Chad, this thing could spread. It could absolutely spread. And it will. Some of these things are extremely contagious.
Further, we are seeing some small clusters and larger outbreaks of COVID-19 in locations such as camps and community events where proper, hard-learned prevention strategies are not enforced and the virus is readily able to thrive.
Christian camps, it's happening. But those are with the adults that are getting sick. Kids yesterday, a new study came out. So remember this. Everybody's like, oh, my God, the kids, right? Like the kids and what will this thing do? And eventually they're waiting for something that is going to come through. Well, a new study came out, and they said that the risk of COVID-19 death or serious illness remains low. In fact, it's lower than they thought. What kind of study was it, like 8 kids? Almost 500,000. Some 99.995%. Of 470,000 children in England who were infected during the year examined by researchers survived. One study found, because there were 3, and they initially suspected, are you ready for this? 61 kids died because of COVID. Most of them had comorbidities and other issues. Then they've revised that now, and actually it's 25. That's great news, by the way, for those of you. It's funny because I heard some people yesterday like, oh, like you're upset about that? We want people to get vaccinated, the kids. I know people do. Nobody wants this thing to spread, but everybody needs to take a deep breath. And the thought of mandating these things and knocking door to door, hello, sir, are you in there? Yeah, I just woke up. I was sleeping for the last 18 and a half months. What's going on? Is there something new? Yeah. It's called the coronavirus. No, people have known about this for a long time now. We need to move on and stop trying to fearmonger. Allow people to make the choices, and you make the choices that are right for you.
A young woman touched me, but I can't do this. It's that easy. Wait a minute, not that long. Miss Lady, you ain't had no deaths.
Don't tense up.
I can't tense up scared as I am.
Don't be scared.
I ain't fine.
Don't be nervous. I ain't gonna do nothing.
Miss Lady, I don't do neitles.
I know it.
I gotta hold on to something.
I can't do it like that.
Miss Lady, get it over with. Get it right down up in there.
Relax. Pray for your date of birth.
12/31. I was New Year's Eve. Oh, New Year's Eve.
Have fun going door to door. It's not going to work. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. Tweet at us, text the program. Hey, guess what? You remember almost 20 years ago, we had a horrific day like none other that we've had as a singular day and moment in our time outside of Pearl Harbor. Because of that, we pinpointed an area in which scumbags, terrorists, evil people were setting up summer camps to train, to do horrible things, not just to us, but to the rest of the free world. It was like their version of Club Med. Remember that? And then we're like, we got to go get them. And we did. Well, guess what? We're leaving.
I just recently met with some in Afghanistan, and those I spoke to have been waiting for visas for months. But the president promised he would evacuate them in the coming months to a third country. But I can tell you that with the Taliban surging across the country, they are extremely nervous and anxious to get out.
Yeah. Who is? Well, we're leaving. 31st of August, we're out, right, Mr. President?
Our military mission in Afghanistan will conclude on August 31st. The drawdown is proceeding in a secure and orderly way. As I said in April, the United States did what we went to do in Afghanistan, to get the terrorists who attacked us on 9/11 and deliver justice to Osama bin Laden, and to degrade the terrorist threat to keep Afghanistan from becoming a base from which attacks could be continued against the United States.
Yeah. Now, do I think that some are going to set up there? I don't think some left. I think some are definitely going to do what they can. But there are also people out there that helped us, and we're going to try to get them to other places where they think it's safe, which is a good thing. But then the question is, what happens to everybody else? Well, the Taliban's going to roll back in. They're going to take everything over. They're going to impose all these horrific laws from, the 8th century and back to living like it's the 8th century with some cell phones. But even now, Pakistan is closing off their border in areas. They don't want any part of what's taken place. And we'll see. I think they're going to become more and more isolated. But the money we spent, the lives lost, and we had to go there. We did. We had to go there and have a response. Did we need to stay 20 years? No. But the money was good. Well, that's not very nice, Chad. The money was good. That's why we stayed forever. We're not getting rid of the Taliban despite what Biden says.
Is a Taliban takeover of Afghanistan now inevitable?
No.
Yes.
It is not.
Yes.
Why?
Because you have the Afghan troops have 300,000 well equipped as any army in the world, and an air force against something like 75,000 Taliban. It is not inevitable.
Except for the fact that you could have 300, you could have 1 million, you could have 5 million. Are they in it to win it? I'm curious. There will be areas, I think, that will be kind of safe. But I think by and large, for the rest of them, remember, they're going to cede some of this. And some of these guys who are the quote unquote, as you would like to say, troops, they sympathize somewhat with them. They have some of the beliefs. So there will be some areas that will be completely Taliban run, and there'll be other areas that'll be semi-safe and modernish. But at the end of the day, it's still a nation that is fragile when it comes to the kind of democracy. And we were never there to nation build. We were there to break a bunch of stuff, to scare a bunch of stuff, to clean out that place, and then to have some sort of base where we could print money. And that's kind of what we did. But we're out now. And that's good. I think it's good. Does it mean that we couldn't go back? No. I just think from now on, any kind of situation that we are going to be in is going to be drone-based and surgical. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Shows your Twitter. Tweet at us. Text the program. That guy getting his vaccines. No, ma'am, I don't want to know, ma'am. No, ma'am. Oh, God. Here's the question. There's a beautiful woman there. Gorgeous woman. Kind of woman that makes your heart flutter. You think you man up a little bit more? Right? I don't know. Just asking. Maybe he likes men. Well, if there's a beautiful man he likes, then. Jeez, make sure we hit everybody. Make sure it's okay. My pillow. Right now is Giza Dream Sheets, which are a basic. The best sheets around. The comfortable, breathable, softest cotton in the world. It is called long staple cotton. It is grown in a specific area, in a small region between the Sahara Desert, the Mediterranean Sea, and the Nile River. And it is ultra soft and it is ultra breathable. Keeps you cool and comfortable, and it's like sliding into $1 million. The most comfortable sheets you will ever own, guaranteed. 60-day money-back guarantee, machine washable, 1-year limited warranty. Right now, get your Giza Dream Sheets 2 for $1. You buy a set, get a second set free. Choose your colors, the sizes. They've got it all. Go to mypillow.com. When you're at checkout, use code Benson or call 800-983-4975. These are the best sheets. Check out all the deep discounts they have on everything else there. Made in the USA, which is always great, keeping people employed here in the USA, giving them good jobs. MyPillow.com, promo code Benson, or call 800-983-4975. The Giza Dream Sheets. Buy a set, get a set free. Chad Benson Show.
No fake outrage here, just the real thing. The Chad Benson Show.
5,
4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Ignition. Liftoff.
Now it's time to find out what's trending.
What's trending? Yeah, what does that mean? I mean something, right? Like it's trending on the old intranet. What's trending?
All right. Let's take a look and see what's trending. Start at Twitter. Rory is trending. If you guys have not seen this, Rory McIlroy, next week is the British Open, one of the 4 majors in golf. So most of the players that are playing in it are playing this week at the Scottish Open. Rory McIlroy is getting ready to tee off on the 10th, standing there talking to Jon Rahm, #1 player in the world, and a Scottish person, because it's the Scottish Open, gradually walks across the tee box and tries to take club. And the reaction of the guys is hilarious because they really didn't do anything. They just kind of stood there. Eventually, he was escorted. Not what you see in the United States of America. Stephen Miller is trending as well because last night the former Trump advisor said essentially that Biden was handed the greatest start to a presidency ever. And I'm thinking, I don't know if that's true. I'm thinking no. Pfizer's trending because they're going to seek approval from the FDA for a booster dose. Scientists and others are saying you don't really need one, but they're like, we've checked our scientifically, we've checked our bank account, and we do need you guys to get one, is what we're saying. Oh wow! Head on over to Google. Conor McGregor, Dustin Poirier, fight number 3 tomorrow night's trending big time. Suns was one of the biggest things trending yesterday. They are closer than ever before. They won the first 2 games at home. Head to Milwaukee now. Take on the Bucks Sunday. Black Widow trending. Opens today. An earthquake. 6.0 earthquake near the California-Nevada border. But there was a bunch of little earthquakes and potentially, and it wasn't just, everybody's like, well, those are aftershocks. No, some separate ones that they have identified. So, and of course, what's going on in Haiti, we're going to touch on that in a little bit because I think I said something the other day and people are like, nuh-uh, and I'm like, I'm thinking yes. I think it's true, and it might very well be true. What took place in Haiti? We're going to get kind of into that because it's a very interesting story. You had an assassination of a leader of a country, and now they've got a bunch of people in custody, including 2 Haitian Americans that are in custody, but the rest were all Colombians. Oh, no. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. 2 of those Florida residents, James Solange and Joseph Vincent, are U.S. citizens, but it's an interesting story as it unwinds, and we're going to deep dive somewhat into that. And my deep dive is more like a puddle. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show's your Twitter. Tweet at us, text the program. Love hearing from every one of you. Plus, Tanner Cross, you remember the teacher, stood up there and said, no, I'm not going to say that. I refused to, lost his gig, got his gig back. It's case heading to the Supreme Court. Got some voting rights stuff as well. Text the program. Check us out across all social media. 'Tis the Chad Benson Show.
The Chad Benson Show.
Independent thoughts, independent life. This is Chad Benson.
A young woman touched me, but I can't do this. It's that easy. Wait a minute, not that long. Miss Williams, you ain't had no depths.
Don't tense up.
I can't tense up scared as I am.
Don't be scared.
I ain't fine.
Don't be nervous. I ain't gonna do nothing.
Miss Lady, I don't do needles.
I know it.
I gotta hold on to something.
I can't do it like that.
Miss Lady, get it over with. Get it right down up in there.
Okay? Relax. Verify your date of birth.
12/31st, I was New Year's Eve. Oh, New Year's Eve.
Another satisfied customer. Feel bad for that guy. Hey, needles for people. There are some people out there. You know, those are the people that we're not talking about. We talk about people who aren't getting vaccinated. So you have the people that are nut jobs, right? Like super crazy. They think that you're going to become magnetized or whatever. You're going to become a houseplant. All the BS that goes along with that conspiracy stuff. Then you've got some people have genuine concern. Like, I don't want to get it because I want to give it a little while. Right. We've talked about this on the show. It's like, you talk to airline pilots, they'll tell you, I'm going to give some of these new planes a year or so to fly before, I decide I think it's good. And I have a couple buddies who, one was a pilot for Virgin and British Airways. He's since retired. And my other friend is a pilot for Aviair. And one of the biggest airlines in the world. And he says, get the bugs out. You don't want to get the bugs out at 30,000 feet. And we've seen, obviously with the Air Max what happens. So there's some people out there with the vaccine that want to make sure, and that's their kind of thought process. And then there's some people who don't trust the government. But there's also a group of people that are terrified of needles. That guy was one of them. I will tell you this. My father, who I love dearly, God rest his soul, passed away when I was 16 years old, was a bad man. He was. He was no joke of a human being. 5'9", maybe, 240 pounds of muscle, tatted up, but would pass out during his tattoos. Needles would absolutely make him pass out. So there is a small group of people that have some fear of needles, and that guy was one of them. So let's not discount those people. If we've left you out, we're apologizing. But what if we played you a song? What if you needed to go on a date? People needed to vax up. Let's go back a few years. Young guy by the name of Juvenile. He backed that thing up. You remember that? Well, of course, he's got a new song out. It's kind of similar because it's basically the same song, but it's about vaxing up.
You finna online date chat, find a mate chat, open up VOK ass, okay yeah, profile picture looking tight chat, nice chat, got your bio reading right chat, precise chat, but before you find a date chat, you gotta wait chat, gotta go vaccinate chat, get it straight chat, girl you look good, want you vax that thing, I'm using handsome young brother.
I don't think that would have helped that guy. That guy was like, no! But there are people out there scared of needles. I do not want to discount you, and if we've done that, we absolutely apologize. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show's your Twitter. Tweet at us. You guys might remember Tanner Cross. So if you guys don't remember, I'll give you a quick little snapshot of Tanner Cross. He was a teacher, Virginia, Loudoun County. Is that how you say it, Producer Phil? Is it Loudoun County?
That is correct, Loudoun County.
Loudoun County. Loud and Clear County. Tanner Cross, Christian, wouldn't teach the gender world thing. He thought you're born a boy or a man, that's what you are. And you're born a girl, that's what you are. And he opposed using preferred pronouns and things of that nature. And, he was bounced. Well, guess what? Unbounced.
I love all of my students, but I will never lie to them regardless of the consequences. I'm a teacher, but I serve God first, and I will not affirm that a biological boy can be a girl and vice versa because it's against my religion, it's lying to a child, it's abuse to a child.
So after that, Tanner got suspended. Tanner, 5 days before the school year ended, you were reinstated.
There's a very warm welcome back to school by administrators, co-workers, students, parents. There was a lot of tears. We were very happy with the judge's decision that my rights were violated. It was unconstitutional what happened to me.
Yeah. And look, this is the way I look at stuff like this, right? Follower of God, and I treat people how they want to be treated. If you identify as whatever, if you came to me today and say, I think I'm Batman, well, then great, you think you're Batman. If that's what you want me to call you, fine, I'm going to do that. But yeah, and we know the rule on the Chad Benson Show. You get one. If you think there's some sort of fluidity in your world, and tomorrow you want to be Superman, the next day you're going to be Wonder Woman, you get one, right? If you want to be Laura, but your name was Larry, and you identify as that, that's fine. That's the gender that you believe you are. Physically, obviously, there are, on the inside, science is science and nature is nature, and that's what it is. And you can change all the bits, but on the physical, all your furniture on the inside is still your furniture, right? You're not changing that out. That's what you got. You may want to do something else. You may want to take away some. It's like, I'm getting rid of these steps over here, but I'm going to add a balcony up here. So that's fine, okay? Chad, that's very interesting. But you get one, right? That's just it. You get one. You can't, there's no changing tomorrow. I want to be identified as a man, and then today I want to be identified as non-gender, binary, sentient, or whatever. That's it. He took a different route. And when it comes to children, you know what? I believe in a lot of this insanity that we see out there. I think he's so much right. The 3-year-old comes to you and says, I want to do this. And I go back to the story. My son, for like 6 months, wanted to be a fire engine. Now, I'm not talking about a fireman. I'm not talking about the guy or gal who runs into the house, and fights the fire, right? I'm not talking about that. Wears the gear, slides down the pole, drives the truck. He wanted to be a truck. He was sure he was going to be a truck. At no time did I look at his mother and say, it's time that we go outside and start getting some metal and getting that on his body. At no time did I do that. Okay? So don't you know? And I think too often, some of these parents in particular, they get into this thing because much like the whole, and this is the way I look at it, it's very much Munchausen by proxy. It's very much one of those things, right? Where I think for a lot of these parents, it's a bag of courage. It's something for them. It's like the kids who, the whole scandal at the colleges, Varsity Blues. It's about having something as well for your children. Not all of them. Some people are like, no. But for some in this woke world, it's very much a part of that. It really is. And by the way, I sit back and you're like, how can you believe it? Because I've got friends who've, my godson used to be my goddaughter. And I love Micah. We call him Roger. They pick their names sometimes, and I'm like, ugh. It's like they're going around, they start reading, like, this is my favorite story of all time. You're like, oh, okay. And then, it's like because I've got several friends that are transgender, and they're all like, they've got names from like, they were watching, this over here, or they saw something in Harry Potter they liked, and nobody goes with Harry, right? It's always like some other name. I want to be called Vasily, whatever. That's fine, right? But for a lot of people, it is a badge of courage. It's something where you can, because it's a look at me scenario. And that's a lot of what this stuff is. I think it's as much an issue for some of these parents. Again, there are other parents out there that know this is like, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening. But more and more, it's like, the rainbow flag, talking about it, going there, and that's the conversation you have all day.
Yeah, I spoke against two proposed policies that were going to force teachers and students to affirm that biological males could be females and that females could be males. And I just think that would be lying to a child. And I simply could not do that in good conscience.
That's understandable. That is totally 100% understandable. I don't think you should affirm if somebody, and let's also go back and remember gender and sex, biologically are two different things. If you believe something, and that's what you want to believe, and that's the belief that you have, I've said, and I'll say it again, that's your belief, that's totally fine. On the other side of stuff, if you're going to talk about the actual physical science of it, then no. On the inside, you can change the outside all you want, like a house, right? Change the outside all you want. But on the inside, you're still the same. And this guy got his gig back, and I think rightly so. I think teachers, like everybody else, they have their free speech. They have their expression. I doubt he's being mean to children. But I think a lot of people in this day and age think he probably is just this evil human being.
Tyson, what was your case for Tanner, and why is the school going after you again to suspend him?
Well, the case is that no public school teacher should ever be punished simply for sharing their beliefs in a public forum where the school board invited comment. And they retaliated against Tanner simply for sharing his position on these proposed policies. And that's a violation of both his free speech rights under the Virginia Constitution and his free exercise of religion.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, Chad, but you don't want the Black Lives Matter and teachers and stuff like that. No, I don't want him to be an activist for things like that. No chance do I want any of that. And should just go in and teach and do your gig. But if you invite them to a public forum at a hearing to ask questions, it's a different thing. Just like if you invited other teachers to talk about Black Lives Matter, critical race theory, and things of that nature, that is a different thing. If you're going to invite them there, and this is other parents, and these are other teachers, and these are school board members, that's a separate issue.
I'm not worried. I still have faith into the school board, and that the First Amendment is on our sides, and on the teacher side, we care about our students, and we just hope that everybody's viewpoint is looked into so that we all can be an inclusive environment and educate children the correct way.
And do you think there are other people that believe what you believe?
I believe that there are other teachers, and I know for a fact that there are teachers that feel the same way that I do.
But I guarantee you they won't say it. Again, don't turn this into a religious thing, Tanner. We're good to go. Don't belittle the children. Don't give just say, look, I believe this, we're moving on from it. It shouldn't be a big issue, but it becomes a big issue because the world we live in now, this is a big issue about bathrooms, about how many genders there are, about what gender you recognize, about what sexuality you are. These things have become huge places when really what we should be doing is educating the kids, like about how to survive in life, how to get a job, what's the best path. Should I be a coder or a mechanic? What gender do you want to be first? 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. Tweet at us. Raycon, best earbuds around. I have my Raycons, love them. Different colors to choose from, which is great, right? Because you want to be stylish, and you will be. No stems, no wires, so that's another win right there. But the comfort, the fit, the seamless Bluetooth pairing, all amazing. But that noise isolating fit, when you put them on, click them in, they got all these different gel tips, so it makes it perfect. So it's like snapping into your brain. It's like a Lego, and that's incredible. That gives you a sound quality that is second to none. Right now, 45-day happiness guarantee. I mean, if you don't like them, send them back. 1 year warranty. Whatever happens, your dog eats them, send them back, no questions asked. Get a new pair. Free shipping, and a price that starts, well under $100, well under $80, well under $70. Save for 15% as well. BuyRaycon.com/Chad. BuyRaycon.com/Chad. Get your premium earbuds at a price that won't break the bank. BuyRaycon.com/Chad. Chad Benson Show.
To be free. I am not a terrorist. I am not Antifa. I am not a sex slave that wears masks.
Don't be a cutie pie.
Probably sit around and cook some soups
and eat bread and desserts and just get all fat and sassy.
You're ruining my life, Bob!
You haven't seen anything yet.
You're listening to The Chad Benson Show.
A new generation of hot dogs is here. A New Jersey butcher reinventing one of America's favorite foods, introducing a new line of flat dogs. Rastelli's hot dog patties. Flat dogs come in packs of 8. They can hold more condiments and make it easier to buy just one type of bun, since they can be used in a hamburger bun. But then the existential question, is it really a hot dog at all?
Somebody in my ear said, isn't that bologna?
Right? Bologna sandwich now. It's a ham dog, baby. It's a ham dog. Would you eat the ham dog? I would eat the ham dog. I've done that, actually. I have done the ham dog, and it's delicious. Did that a couple months ago. Sliced them right down the middle. Got the Hebrew National, because you got to go with that, right? Like Nathan's Hebrew National. That's what we're talking about. Sliced them down the middle. Barbecued them. Cut them in half. Did a little double stack on an onion bun. And, well, it was worth it. That's all I got to say, kids. Every once in a while you find something you're like, you know what, Chad? That was worth it. 323-538-2423. At Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. Tweet at us. Text the program. Love hearing from every single one of you. I know. I have to hear it again. And somebody just texted me and go, could you play it again? This poor guy going to get a vaccine. Not excited.
A young woman touched me, but I can't do this. Is that easy?
Young woman touched me, but I cannot do this.
Wait a minute, not that on. Miss Lady, you ain't had no deaths.
Don't tense up.
I can't got tense up scared as I am.
Don't be scared.
I ain't fine.
Don't be nervous. I ain't gonna do nothing.
Miss Lady, I don't do neither.
I know it.
I gotta hold on to something.
I can't do it like that.
Miss Lady, get it over with. Get it right down up in there.
Okay. Relax. Pray for your date of birth.
12/31st, I was New Year's Eve. Oh, New Year's Eve.
We can report safely that he is alive and well. Poor guy. Look, if you've got some people, there is a terrifying situation that they go through when it comes to certain things, whether it's needles, no matter what it is. And I feel for that guy right there. Get it. 323-538-2423. At Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. Tweet at us. Text the program. Love hearing from every single one of you kids and kittens across the board. Oh, I do. Check out all of our social media. We try to have fun. That's what we do here. We inform, we entertain, and we make fun of people. Feel sorry for that guy. He's okay, though. Chad Benson Show.
This is The Chad Benson Show. Independent thoughts, independent life. This is Chad Benson.
Pfizer announcing it will ask the FDA to authorize a third booster dose of its vaccine 6 months after the second shot, saying it could be even more effective against the variant. Some health experts say not so fast. Hours after Pfizer's announcement, the CDC and FDA writing in a joint statement, Americans who've been fully vaccinated do not need a booster shot at this time.
Yeah, that's what they're saying. But Pfizer's like, but this is all science-based. So we're turning around and we're looking over here. We're seeing our bank account. We see the collapsing and then down it goes. And we're making a ton of profit. I mean, we're still making a ton of profit here, but wow, we were printing money there. Scientifically, this is more money than this. And we're looking at that, and that's math. Oh. Yeah. CDC and everybody's like, settle down. Let's just see what this looks like. Let's give it. It went from a year to like, after your 6 months, you should probably come get a double, triple booster. And maybe there'll be a variant where we have to. But let's just all settle down there. And the CDC just announced today, schools, you guys need to open up in the fall. If you're unvaccinated, you wear a mask. If you're vaccinated, you just get on with your life. I think that's pretty good. It takes time to just get on with getting on. But it's getting worse.
Our 7-day average is about 13,900 cases per day. And this represents an increase in cases of nearly 11% from the prior 7-day average.
13,000 out of how many millions? 350, 360? And where is it mostly? It's in areas where people are unvaccinated. Okay, here's the thing. If you're vaccinated, get on with your life if you're that terrified of it. We're not closing down. Everybody needs to relax. Remember, they've got a job to do, and some of that is fear-mongering.
We are starting to see some new and concerning trends. Simply put, in areas of low vaccination coverage, cases and hospitalizations are up. Meanwhile, the Delta variant is spreading rapidly throughout the country. This week, the Delta variant is estimated to be the most prevalent variant in the United States, representing over 50% of sequenced samples across the country, up from 26% from the week ending June 19. Although we expected the Delta variant to become the dominant strain in the United States, this rapid rise is troubling. We know that the Delta variant has increased transmissibility, and it is currently surging in pockets of the country with low vaccination rates.
Oh, no. Yeah. Not low vaccination rates. Yes. Low vaccination rates. There you go. If you're worried that this could be something that you're taking serious now, you have access to it where you can just go, I'm going to go get a vaccine and do that. Chad, thank you so much for that. We were worried. We were definitely worried. If you don't worry about it, because for whatever reason you're choosing not to take it, and it could be for any reason. You think you're going to become a plant. You think you're going to freak out. You're terrified of needles. Let's do our buddy again.
A young woman touched me, but I can't do this. It's that easy. Wait a minute, not that long. Miss Lady, you ain't had no deaths.
Don't tense up.
I can't tense up scared as I am.
Don't be scared.
I ain't fine.
Don't be nervous. I ain't gonna do nothing.
Miss Lady, I don't do needles.
I know it.
I gotta hold on to something.
I can't do it like that.
Miss Lady, get it over with. Get it right down up in there.
Relax. Pray for your date of birth.
12/31st, I was New Year's Eve. Oh, New Year's Eve.
Oh, New Year's Eve. Oh, New Year's Eve. Oh, this girl don't touch me like that. Poor guy. Being terrified like that, get it. But Dad was terrified of needles, and I understand there's some people out there. And by the way, I've got, I'm tatted up, and I have friends who are tattoo artists. You'd be surprised how many people get tatted who are terrified of needles. Now, you don't really see the needles the way that you see the needle in that, but there are still people out there that just, they squeamish. Totally get it. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show's your Twitter. Tweet at us, text the program. Love hearing from every single one of you. It is a battle for sure. And the battle's always in the public eye. We no longer live in a world of facts and reality because they're skewed. We only get a portion of the facts anymore. Some stuff's held back. Some stuff is twisted to a point where I'm not only going to give you facts, but I'm going to massage those facts and throw some nuance at it and tell the story I want to tell. So you're saying, this is what I think this person thought. So we no longer live in that. And that's more evident every single day. And I get on the media all the time. I'm part of the media as well. But I think I want to give you the truth. And if you don't like me because I'm going to give you the truth about things, that's a you thing. People say, Chad, you sit on the fence on stuff. No, I don't. What people want nowadays is they want you to choose a side regardless. You may agree with them on, it doesn't matter, like on one thing or two things, but they want you to be on their team, even if you don't agree with everything. I'll give you my opinion on anything, and it'll be based in facts. And for some on the right, pisses them off. They want 100% backing and support or else. People on the left, you're with us or against us or else. But when it comes to the media, we know where they stand. And I just found this to be interesting. It's a little contrast in the media world between Biden and Trump. Now, Fox has their thing, right? Like Stephen Miller said this yesterday.
No president in history has been dealt a better hand on day one than President Biden. Think about what President Trump left him and what it's become.
Well, look, President Trump, the vaccine was done under, the distribution of the vaccine is done under Biden. The economy, talked about yesterday, the satisfaction rate. Right now, about 60% of Americans feel that they're thriving and they feel good about life right now. That's higher than Obama and Trump. Right? So that's a very real thing. If you're looking at that data from those polls right there. Not everybody feels that way. But no, it wasn't the greatest in the history, Stephen. I'll play it again.
No president in history.
So no president in history. Those are big words.
Has been dealt a better hand on day one.
So no president in history has been dealt a better hand on day one than
President Biden.
Yeah, no, not buying that, Stephen. But it works great for you. You're over there, Fox. You're going to get friendly fire. Everybody's going to like you. Real journalists, though, should ask serious question. I would look right at Stephen, and I'm not a journalist, and I'd say, dude, come on. It's a bunch of crap, right? We were in the midst of a massive pandemic. Unemployment was crashing, and we're having a horrific fight here when it comes to our elections, what's in the vaccines. I mean, you so don't tell me. Now, we're in the best time in human history. In saying that, though, as far as him getting the greatest presidency handoff ever, I'm going to say no. But when it comes to the greatest media handoff comparatively, I'm going to say yeah.
Is it Thursday? I said happy Thursday. Well, I was going to say, I did hear it was Steve Holland's 29th birthday. So happy 29th birthday. I am a terrible singer, but I am willing to lead a song here if you are all game. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Steve. Happy birthday. Brian Karam, excellent voice. I don't know what you do with that, but that's one thing I learned today. Okay.
Yeah, Steve Holland is a reporter for Reuters. So singing songs to Steve right there. Let's go back, though, a little ways and take a look at how, and again, Trump spars. He gives as good as he gets. And he'll answer questions that a lot of other presidents just walk away from at times. And that's also what got him in trouble. So every once in a while, you need to go, zip it. But listen to, and then.
If I may ask one other question, Mr. President, if I may ask one other question, are you worried?
That's enough. That's enough.
Mr. President, that's enough. On the Russia investigation, are you concerned?
That's enough. Put down the mic.
Mr. President, are you worried about indictments coming down in this investigation?
CNN should be ashamed of itself having you working for them. You are a rude.
Sir, why are you saying that to me specifically?
I'm not saying it specifically to anybody. I'm saying it to anybody that would ask a nasty question like that.
That's not a nasty question.
Please go ahead. Next.
In Jim's defense, I've traveled with him and watched him. He's a diligent reporter who busts his butt.
Well, I'm not a big fan of yours either, so
I understand.
To be honest.
It is kind of funny, right? Like, you just sit there and you laugh. You're like, this is the battle that goes on. And it is a different world. It is. And you can't tell me that the media has been above board, as I always like to say, with the treatment. But Trump was great. And Trump, by the way, when was the last time anybody goes, hey, what's that Jim Acosta up to? So many of them enjoyed it because they knew they were going to get their opportunity, and Trump knew what he was going to get. Some of it was his fault, but to say that this is the greatest presidency handoff and the best time ever that any president's ever got, Stephen Miller, is BS. And to say that the media treats this president the same way they treated the last president is also crap. 323-538-2423. At Chad Benson shows your Twitter. Tweet at us, text the program. MyPillow has Giza Dream Sheets, mate. Giza. It's called long staple cotton. It's grown in an area between the Mediterranean, the Nile, and the Sahara Desert. It is truly the Most comfortable sheet you'll ever own. And it's breathable. Ooh, and cool. Ultra soft. You're going to love these things. So, last night, stayed at a hotel. The sheets were all right. Not quite sandpaper, but not 5,000 thread. Giza Dream Sheets blows everything away. Available in a variety of colors and sizes. Machine washable. 6-day money-back guarantee. 1-year limited warranty. Get the best cotton sheets in the world, the Giza Dream Sheets, by going to mypillow.com. Use the promo code Benson. When you do, you're going to buy a set. They're going to throw another set in free. That's a BOGO. You buy one set, you get another set for free. MyPillow.com, promo code Benson at checkout, or call 800-983-4975. 800-983-4975. Giza Dream Sheets, 2 sets for the price of one. Promo code Benson at MyPillow.com. Chad Benson Show.
You go, boy.
This isn't about right or left. This is just about right and wrong.
Right you are, Chad. The Chad Benson Show.
Lifting off from Virgin Galactic's facilities at Spaceport America in New Mexico Sunday morning, Branson explained why he's doing it.
Gives people a taste of space. The only way that you can actually do it on an affordable basis is to put people into space, let them experience space, and then bring them back again.
Branson, who's 70, will make the short trip to the edge of space with 5 other crew members.
I want a whole new generation of kids to be able to look forwards and look up to the stars and up to the skies and realize that they too could become astronauts one day.
Branson says he hopes this paves the way for space tourism.
Pastronauts, tourist astronauts. Branson's going up there. They'd ask him about, like, hey, you and Bezos, right? Because Bezos is getting ready to take off. But there's a difference. Bezos is going space. You're going to the edge of the outer space and still staying in our atmosphere. So you'll be able to turn and see. You go to the window. You get to look at everything. So, oh, my God. Like people like, oh, what kind of space is he going to? Well, he's going to not quite space, but they did ask him, hey, you and Bezos, is there a little battle going on between you two?
I know that it's been painted as a race. Honestly, I don't think either of us see it that way. We're not really in direct competition.
No, and they're not. He wants to build hotels. He wants to build, that's these guys' goals. The stuff that he wants to do, he'll be long gone when those things are probably fully, if it happens, complete. But the opportunity for him to get people to want to take a ride up there to outer space-ish area and float around is real.
This company, Virgin Galactic, gives people a taste of space. And the only way that you can actually do it on an affordable basis.
Not quite sure what affordable is, though. And we heard him say that earlier in the thing, but like, affordable. I'm not quite, what's affordable? Because we were talking yesterday, was, sports tickets. Like, what would you pay for? Because my co-host, my local show, his wife, spent a ton of money getting him last night game 2 tickets. They went. And everybody's got a price for something. Like, there's something, but there's also a level at which, we had a kid here locally who sold his car so he could get game 2 tickets. Now his car was like $3,000. And he got game 1 tickets he got. But, and that's something, you're young, you can do stuff like that. He goes, I work out of the house, right? I got like a master's in finance. I don't really go anywhere. So it wasn't big deal. But it was kind of a neat story. But, what are people willing to do? Can I finance my space trip?
Is to put people into space, let them experience space, and then bring them back again. It just means they don't actually go into orbit like we've done with our satellites.
That's what I think some people want. Well, wait a minute here. I was told that I was going to be in space. You're in kind of space. Well, that's not fun. 323-538-2423. At Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. So what you're telling me is this isn't the Great Space Coaster. Get on board for the Great Space Coaster. Ooh, yeah. Spelling Bee is back. We have a champion in the Spelling Bee, and that champion, Zelia Avant-Garde from Louisiana. She had the question to answer, the word to spell.
The word is Maria. It's a genus of tropical Asiatic and Australian trees having pinnate leaves and flowers with imbricated petals. Maria.
Maria. Does this word contain like the English name Murray, which could be the name of a comedian?
No, it does not work that way.
Maria. Murraya.
That is correct.
She's 14. She's the first black American champion. And she won last night. I'm still not quite sure. I mean, do they get, like, is there trophies? They should give them a belt. That'd be awesome. By the way, she's talented as well in basketball. 3 Guinness Book World Records for dribbling, apparently. So she's got a lot going on. She's the winner. Maria! Chad Benson Show.
The Chad Benson Show.
Independent thoughts, independent life. This is Chad Benson.
2 are Americans. One of them, James Solage, who lives near Fort Lauderdale. His alleged role still unclear. Haiti's acting prime minister with this message, quote, "This barbaric act is not going unpunished."
Not going to go unpunished. Again, I want to go over the suspects. First, they didn't know how many there were. They do know now. And yes, Americans.
An all-out hunt for the killers of Haitian President Jovenel Moïse. Police arresting 2 men, placing them in the back of a pickup truck, surrounded by an angry crowd. Outside a local police station, Haitians burning tires and pickup trucks, demanding justice. Authorities say they killed 4 people connected to the assassination in a gun battle. At least 6 others now under arrest. 2 are Americans.
And now we have grown to closing in on 26 in total. Most of them Colombians. Oh! Now, I said it the other day. I don't want to toot my own horn, but I'm going to do it here. I'm like, this smells like drugs. Because the way that this thing played itself out, the way that this thing took place, it felt like when I heard them say they were speaking Spanish, I said it on this very air that I speak and breathe right now. This feels like the Colombians were involved. And if the Colombians are involved, what's that usually mean? It usually means there's a chance that drugs may be involved as well. Now, we shall find out if that is true and why that may have happened. But in saying that, much like the Dominican and many of these other small Central American and Caribbean countries, they are a place where drugs get smuggled through. We'd go back to somebody like Noriega, right? His whole thing was, I'll be the go-between for Pablo Escobar and any other of the Medellin cartel, and I'll take that cash and go from there. So Colombian soldiers have been tied to the plot, they say, several of them, as well as 2 Americans. 17 suspects detained, 8 are being sought, 4 are dead. And it is getting weirder by the second. Taiwan's embassy was also apparently raided. But the way it took place, I just said, I have a feeling some drugs. I'm just saying, I had a feeling. You piss somebody off who's got all the money in the world and who can reach you and you don't have the kind of security that can thwart it. And when you get involved in that kind of world, you know, we've all watched the videos. We've all seen the shows. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. Tweet at us, text the program. Check us out across all of the media world because we do like doing media stuff, kids. We have fun doing it. Mitch McConnell. Mitch had a lot to say the other day. And we're going to talk about a few of those things because Mitch is always fun when he shows up here. One of the things he touched on was the NCAA and the NIL. The NIL. Yeah. We'll talk about that. But he had something to say about the NIL.
Football and basketball provide enough revenue to make sure all the women get to play and all the men get to play who are in sports that do not generate any revenue. And what the young people get if they're in football or basketball, if they're really good, is they get rich. If they're not really good, they get a free education. So I'm having a hard time grasping what's wrong with the current system.
A lot, because at the top you had people making tens of millions and billions of dollars off these kids. And what you had was people who couldn't even have. So here's what I want you to understand, Mitch, okay? All right? Let's just say, for the sake of argument, I'm a kicker for, where would I go? Well, Florida State, but Bowden's gone, so not so much. I'd probably want to play at Bama. So I'm a kicker for Bama. I'm a kicker. But I'm also a YouTuber. And because of that, I make money off of it. But not kicking. No, let's just say I'm a chef. I'm a goofy, fun chef. And that's my little side gig that I've been doing because I like to cook and I like to bake and I like to do all this stuff. And I have this goofy program and I got a couple 100,000 subscribers and I'm making 4, 5, 10 grand a month off of it. And I got my own merch. I can't make money off that. I'm considered a professional. So I couldn't play on the team. That's the dumbest thing in the world. It is. That's more of what it's about. NIL, which is name, image, likeness, that is something that's ridiculous. I want to go somewhere and sign an autograph, and somebody wants to pay me $10 to do it. The school's not paying me. None of this is about the school paying me. Well, you're using the school's platform, and they're using me. If I was a kid who got a scholarship because I'm a great writer and they gave me a scholarship to come study English or science or whatever, and I had a YouTube thing, right, or Instagram or a TikTok, and I had hundreds of thousands of followers because I'm a great juggler, I could keep that money. But if I'm an athlete, I couldn't. Well, now, what this is going to do is it's going to expose the things that we've already known, that were always there, that were dirty. It's going to make them transparent. That's all. Right? The $500 handshake. You see, I don't know if you guys saw this, but a gym in Miami is going to spend about $600,000 and basically give every one of the players $500 a month. And what they're asking for is they just tell them, hey, come work out at this gym. This is where Miami's football team works out. The Cavender sisters, who have like 3.5 million followers on TikTok and all of it, they're going to make a ton of money. They play volleyball. They're twins. They're beautiful. I mean, they're redonkulous. They should be able to cash in. I have no problem with this. And it's not just going to be the mega stars. I'm telling you guys now, it's not going to be. And the thought process is, well, it's only going to be this. No, it's going to be able to use, you're building a brand now. What you're teaching these kids is you're now a brand. You're an entrepreneurial brand is what you are the entrepreneur for, is you. And what you make of it is up to you. We're not going to give you anything other than the same thing we gave you before. So the school's not giving you a penny, but now it's about you. Hope that helped, Mitch. I hope that helped. 323-538-2423. At Chad Benson Show's your Twitter. Tweet at us. Text the program. So, Democrats, so funny. We're talking about getting a vaccine. I had to show my ID to get a vaccine. I had to show my ID to get a vaccine. And now you've got the battle of this whole, voter suppression and all of this stuff. And it frustrates me because neither side is honest. Are the Republicans in some areas being ridiculous? Absolutely. I think there is some stuff that they're overstepping, but they're in power in those states. And the beauty of the way that we work our electoral system and the elections is everything is a state-by-state basis. You run your own, right? So there's no feds coming down. It's your thing. So, yeah, they're doing what is legal and that they can do. And they're going to be challenged, and they know that. On the other side of it, if you think that you go back to they're suppressing the vote, they're taking away the vote, you can still vote, right? Like that's because somebody who knocks on your door that you've never seen can't mail your ballot in or help you fill it out. That is not you not being able to vote. And they're out there, doing what you would do if you were a Democrat in this position, making sure that everybody understands that everybody out there, you guys are victims, especially people of color, in particular, Black Americans.
We will not let anyone take away our power. And that's why we are all here together today. We're not going to let that happen.
Okay. Well, what are they doing that's taking away your power? Well, they're closing up stuff at a certain time. Okay. Well, I find that to be a little ridiculous. Some of it, yeah, I can get. Yeah, but they're not letting, ballot harvesting going on in certain places. That's not going to happen. They're not allowing that to happen? No. They're saying, it's got to be somebody that's a close relation to you that delivers it. Oh, okay. Some places they're going to demand that you show an ID. Really? Yeah. Show an ID? Well, you can't get an ID. It's impossible. It's not impossible. It's the easiest thing in the world to do, and everybody knows it. But it's about creating victims.
With this $25 million, the Democrats are investing in the tools and technology to register voters, to educate voters, to turn out voters, to protect voters.
Yeah, and I think voters should be protected. And I think we should have ballot boxes for certain days. It's not hard, right? Like say, look, okay, we're going to put ballot box here. Certain areas across the states. It's going to be a 24 or 48 hour period. You can have people guard it. You can have cameras on it. You can do all kinds of stuff in the world that we live in today. It's not hard. But remember, when you listen to politicians, what is it about? It's about painting a picture that the other side is out to get you. And the only way to stop that boogeyman is by empowering me. Oh. It's like, honestly, think of it like the Avengers, right? So this is the Avengers over here. That's the way both sides look at themselves. And they look at the other side as you guys are Thanos. And what's Thanos trying to do? Snap his fingers and get rid of portions of you that he doesn't like. And the only way for us to go on is if you continue to put us in power so we can protect us. And if you could please support us by giving us $25 a month, that'd be solid as well. 323-538-2423. At Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. Tweet at us, text the program. Britney Spears' dad has spoken about one thing, and the dumbest lawsuit of dumb lawsuits over the dumbest thing. You guys have to hear this. It's insane. Chad Benson Show.
Set Chad straight. Text the show, 323-538-2423. That's 323-538-CHAD. Someone has to do it. Might as well be you. The Chad Benson Show.
A young woman touched me, but I can't do this. It's that easy. Wait a minute, not that long. Miss Williams, you ain't had no deaths.
Don't tense up.
I can't tense up scared as I am.
Don't be scared.
I ain't fine.
Don't be nervous. I ain't gonna do nothing.
Miss Lady, I don't do neither.
I know it.
I gotta hold on to something.
I can't do it like that.
Miss Lady, get it over with. Get it right down up in there, bro.
Okay? Relax. Verify your date of birth.
12/31st, I was New Year's Eve. Oh, New Year's Eve.
Little sound of the day for you guys right there. Poor guy, I could report he is alive and well, but not a fan of needles. Not a fan of needles at all. Britney Spears, guys. Apparently a bunch of people are putting together a fund to help Britney escape the clutches of her conservatorship, but there's other drama as well. Not a shocker.
On Wednesday, Britney Spears' co-conservator Jody Montgomery filed papers with the court saying she's been getting death threats since Spears went off about the conservatorship a couple of weeks ago, Montgomery requesting the estate pay for around-the-clock security for her. But Jamie Spears, Britney's dad, who handles the financial part of the estate, filed his own papers saying $50,000 a month for security isn't reasonable, necessary, or even justified at this point based on the evidence.
So he's not going to pay for security. $50,000 a month. Hope it's better security than the Haitian president. Oh, Chad. Who sends her death threats? What is wrong with people? We live in a world of insanity, though. I tell you guys that. As great as this world is, there is some bizarre, stupid things out there. Case in point, a lawsuit involving nothing.
Tom Miller is a multidisciplinary performance artist.
That's not a thing.
He installed his sculpture called Nothing at Bo Diddley Plaza in 2016.
See, I told you it was nothing.
Now, he says an Italian artist is trying to sell a different Nothing for $18,000.
The space in our world is also legitimate to work with as an artistic product. So the idea is fashioning Nothing into a sculpture, and that's what the lawsuit is all about.
Are you guys picking up what I'm putting down? These people are insane.
Miller's Nothing was recognized by Alachua County Commissioner Robert Hutchinson when it was installed. Tom says while the sculpture may be nothing, the idea is everything.
When I saw that, I thought, well, that's exactly my idea. And ideas are important in the world, and recognition for those ideas are important. So I simply wanted that attribution. I contacted him, he dismissed it away, and then I hired an Italian attorney.
Okay. Here's my question. Producer Phil, are there more than one sculptures in the world?
I'm sure there are.
Okay. I'm allowed to sculpt nothing. Right? I'm allowed to. How do I know that your nothing matches my nothing? Oh.
Miller says living in the internet age, all it takes is a simple Google search.
If you Google Tom Miller Nothing right on the internet, you can easily see that I had this whole entire paradigm sorted out before Salvatore Garau ever even thought of doing a sculpture of nothing.
Miller says all he wants is credit for his work.
All right, Miller, you created nothing. Here's $18,000 nothing dollars. Spend it. They're right there. Let's pick them up. They're right there. Go on, pick them up. Now they're yours. They're yours. It's all yours. In fact, I threw a couple extra bucks in there because sorry about the hassle. That is nothing. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Shows. Your Twitter, your Instagram, Chad Benson Show TV, YouTube. Follow along across all social media. Watch people fight over everything because that's what we do, and there's no reason to do it. Literally, there's nothing to fight about. How do you even do that with a straight face? I don't know. You guys have an amazing, incredible, blessed weekend. You know what? We will do it again on Monday. We'll try to do it bigger, badder, better than ever before. Be safe, y'all. Night-night, Jack.
Chad Benson Show.